Hi, I'm Jack Nerad, Executive Editorial Director of Kelley Blue Book, and we're always excited when a new rear-wheel drive platform comes out, especially from a brand that's so known for those as Pontiac. And with me is Doug Houlihan. He is the Chief Engineer for GM's global rear-wheel drive platforms. You're going to tell us all about the Pontiac G8 GXP, aren't you?
You got it. And
all
Jack,
right.
Thanks for inviting me out here to wonderful, sunny Southern California.
Happy to do it, and we planned the weather for you. Let's talk about this.
Yeah,
We've got the hood open. You don't often see the hood open when you start something like this, but there's a real good reason, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think the reason for this one is this is Pontiac's most powerful vehicle in their history. The 2009 Pontiac GXP, 415 horse, and we have GM small block, 6.2 liter, overhead valve, 415 horse LS3 engine, and 415 foot-pounds of torque.
So a lot of people are getting heart palpitations when they see this. I mean, this is a ton of horsepower, more than any Pontiac GTO ever. Tell us about 0 to 60 time and the performance of this
Sure.
thing.
0 to 60, an impressive 4.6 in a family sedan, seating for 5. Quarter mile in 13.2 at 109 miles an hour. That's with our automatic. And for those of you that have been waiting for us to come out with the 6-speed manual, we've done it with the GXP. We offer that in the new TR6060 Tremec 6-speed, which the manual is on this particular vehicle we're going to show you today, Jack.
So let's walk around a little bit. I mean, certainly the big news under the hood, but there's a lot to like about the looks of this vehicle too.
Yeah, it's very tastefully done. I think you'll see that as we walk around. Front fascia is new with a little bit bigger opening in the lower section and a little bit bigger here in the twin ports. Very, very tastefully done, nicely understated. When you get to the side of the vehicle, you get brand new wheels here on the GXP. These are 19-inch, high polished wheels. Really good design. What do you think, Jack?
Oh, they're very good looking, absolutely. And of course, there's a performance advantage of 19-inch wheels too. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, underneath those wheels, as you can see, we put the Brembos, and those are the 4-piston caliper up front. Couple that with a 14-inch rotor, and you've got the makings of what you need in a performance vehicle like the GXP. Stopping distance numbers in 60 miles an hour to 0 are coming in around 125 feet.
That's really,
which is really
stellar,
impressive.
Stellar. And we will be testing this in moments from now. Actually, when you leave, we're going to put a test equipment on it. But, you know, tastefully done. I mean, there was a time when maybe Pontiacs were a bit over the top. They were certainly appropriate for the period, but that period is not now. Talk about the styling a little bit, would you?
You know, this styling inherits a lot from the Pontiac G8 and GXP, G8 and GT models. And you can see we've got standard here, the nice multi-color with the chrome insert, so a nice package here. When you get to the rear vehicle, we could have went with a high wing spoiler. We chose to say understated, as you talked about. I think that's really key for these customers. They want performance, they want good styling, helps on the aerodynamics, and it's something that you feel very proud to be around.
Yeah, they don't want to look like a teenager who's put a lot of aftermarket stuff hung off their car either.
Exactly. On the rear of the car, you know, the GXP badge, the new lower valance panel, and the larger quad port chip exhaust tips here.
What are the things that point this out as a GXP versus other G8s?
Yeah, that would be the larger exhaust tips, the 19-inch wheels, the Brembos in the front, and then the front fascia lower.
And some mild badging, I think.
Yeah,
you know,
mild
pretty
badging.
understated badging as well.
We talked about the Brembos. The FE3 suspension is new on the GXP, and that's one where we're really proud of that as well. It gets new strut valving in the front, shock valving in the rear, a bigger rear stabilizer bar from 18 mils to 20 mils, and we kept the trim height the same, but really the key here is with the 19s you get a very, very nice ride and handling package. In fact, in April we took the GXP out to the Nürburgring and we learned some things out there. We spent 2 weeks with the vehicle and made some adjustment to our suspension tuning. With the manual and the final drive of a 370 rear end, this car is excellent on the racetrack as well.
And that's important to note too. There was a time when domestic V8 power rear drive cars were great in a straight line and not very good doing anything else. This is an all-around car that corners just as well as it goes in a straight line.
Speaking of that, you know, max lat at 0.88 G, which is very good for a vehicle of 196 inch long and seating for 5. 114.8 inch wheelbase, and track width of basically 63 inches in the front and 64 in the rear, and a nice 245 40R19s. We do have the summer tires that are standard, and then for those individuals that want all-season capability, we have 19-inch AL3 tires, again the 245 40R19. So we think we've got it covered when it comes to tires and when it comes to stopping distance. The LS3 does a great job on performance, and then you put a 6-speed auto or a 6-speed manual in the vehicle, and you can take your pick there as well.
Well, let's dive inside.
Yeah. When you get inside the vehicle, you know, we've got standard the polished pedal package, which I think is really neat. The shifter, and I think the shifter is very nicely placed ergonomically. It's not too high, it's not too low. The size of the shifter, and you can get in here in a second, Jack, take a feel for it, but it just feels right. It's at the right height. When it gets to the steering wheel, we do have a new steering wheel. It's different than the G8 or the GT, so we've got more of a racing type steering wheel. Then you get over into the cluster. We went to the white illumination of the cluster, a little more upscale feel, and then the GX badging here on the seats. So that's pretty much what we have on the inside, and I think really when a customer chooses the GXP, they want performance, and Pontiac's providing 415 horse and 4.6 0 to 60 in a quarter mile at 13.2. We're giving them all they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And this comes to market how soon?
We're actually building this car in Adelaide, Australia, and we have vehicles on the boats as we speak here. Just about November 1st coming up. So they'll be hitting the dealerships pretty much at the very end of the year, early January.
So available in the marketplace soon. Tell us a bit about the pricing.
Yeah, the vehicles will hit North America end of the year, early January timeframe, coming in at $36,995, which is just an excellent position for us to be in. We've got 415 horse, 415 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.6, seating accommodation for 5, an FE3 suspension that doesn't beat you up. Can be an everyday car. I think a great opportunity for Pontiac.
Right in Pontiac's sweet spot. A lot of people have been waiting a long time for cars like this from Pontiac, and it's nice that they're coming to market. Thanks so much, Doug Houlihan, for being with us. We do appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Jack.
Pleasure talking to you.
All right.
And stay with us for more KBB.com videos.